Every spring, farmers put in long hours planting seeds in the soil. These seeds spend the summer months growing into crops that are then used to feed the world. And every fall, these same farmers dedicate almost every waking moment to harvesting these crops. Growing up on a farm in central Nebraska, I have a deep appreciation for what my family and other families like us do during harvest season. But when I got to college, I realized that not everyone is familiar with this way of life. So I talked with some real farmers and decided to show you the story of harvest.
Harvest plays a pretty big role in our lives. It's a pretty big part of your day during the months of October, November, and September. There's not really much else going on. That's all you focus on throughout the day, and that's all you get to do. So it's a pretty big part of your day, and for a large part of the year, actually, about a fourth of the year.
Preparations for harvest start a few weeks before the crops are ready. The intricate machines used need to be checked over to ensure that harvest can get off to a smooth start.
Well, usually get the combine ready. We start working on that probably late August, beginning of September. Kind of have a list from the year before, things that I know we got to work on. If we have test plots and that kind of stuff, we got to have the field days and whatnot to get that stuff out of the way. Work on the combine kind of like whenever we have time between chasing cows and whatever other stuff is going on the place.
During harvest, other farm activities don't stop. Livestock need to be fed and cared for, fences need to be fixed, and equipment may need to be repaired. There is always something to do, and the work is never done.
You look forward to it all year long, and then it gets into a long, drawn-out process. It might take 6 weeks, might take 8 weeks.
It gets pretty monotonous in the cab. You want to see how your corn has progressed and how it's going to yield. And yeah, by the end, you're looking for those last rows. You want to be done because it's a long process.
However, all of this hard work makes it that much more rewarding.
The harvest is the best time of the year because you work all year, put all the money and hard work into it, and that's when it finally starts to pay off.
Everything has to adjust to the harvest schedule, including eating and sleeping.
Breakfast at harvest time is typically a granola bar, and dinner consists of a sandwich and chips and cheese and some sort of yogurt or fruit, and then supper is the only hot meal of the day, so you tend to overeat at supper time.
Early mornings and late nights are normal for farmers during harvest season, and a productive day may come to a stop very quickly if something goes wrong or breaks on the combine or tractor.
A typical day during harvest is usually unload trucks by 7, start picking as soon as moisture is off the corn, and usually pick till 9, 10 o'clock at night. Love every day of it.
Barring any breakdowns.
You always have good days and bad days.
Mark always says, never make a plan. If you plan to be done with a field at 5 o'clock, it's not going to happen. There's always breakdowns. There's always something that will go wrong. You can aim for an ending date, but it's not going to happen when you want it to end.
You wake up in the morning, probably as the sun's kind of coming up, check emails and check the obituaries to make sure a guy didn't kick the bucket during the night. Then you try to get moving while there's still frost on the ground or on the crops. And you usually try to be running by, like 10, 10:30, 11, sometimes 12. It just all depends upon if you're broke down or what. Little things can stop you pretty fast. We'll run till usually 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night a lot of the time if things are going good. Just depends upon how full everything is when it comes time to quit. Got everything empty and got trucks all lined up and everything and all full, well then we'll quit early. And if we don't have and we've got everything set and empty, we'll keep going until we get everything full.
The excitement at the beginning of the season soon fades away, but that doesn't mean that farmers slow down at all.
We start usually in mid-September and, get done mid-November. And that's a lot of ham sandwiches. We're sick of sandwiches by then.
Harvest time tests the farmer's mental endurance as well. Long hours are spent driving back and forth across the fields. Some people actually find it relaxing, while others come up with ways to entertain themselves in the cab.
The combine thought process consists of what songs are going to be replayed 10 times an hour on the radio station. It's pretty boring in the combine unless you have a rider, then it livens up your day a bit.
The driver must be paying attention all the time in case there are any problems.
Mainly what you sit there and do is you sit there and listen for the combine to break down. Next time you hear the squeal or the squawk or a rattle or something like that, that you really listen for, because that means you're going to be fixing something probably.
Farmers sacrifice a lot so we all have food on our plates. Their job isn't a regular 9-to-5 job, and if their crops don't yield well, they may end up in a tight position financially. Harvest is basically payday for farmers, so a lot is riding on these few months.
By night's end, we're pretty crabby because we're pretty hungry. And at harvest, you sacrifice a lot. You don't make it to church on Sunday. You miss people's weddings. You miss activities that you want to go to, but got to get it done. I think when it's ready, you just know you do it. So at harvest, this is what we know. I mean, it's not something unusual to us. That's just how we were raised.
In my family, farming is a tradition that has been passed down for over 125 years. I am a fifth-generation farmer, and my family's history of hard work and sacrifices has shaped me into the person I am today. Farming isn't for everyone, but it's a way of life that so many of us know about and love.